Shaktis and
I might have heard the term. This is a very common term used for hypervigilance manifestation. So let us look at the difference between Shaktis and Siddhis. Shaktis it's a space of enlightenment as a side effect of the of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment and are on the path of enlightenment.
to ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after initiation from the avatar. Shaktis are permanent. However, Siddhis are not permanent and they may divert you from enlightenment.
And the source of all these Shaktis is Paramashiva, who is a primordial divinity in all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. And as the Sthiti, which is sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, which is rejuvenation, through Baba, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, which is liberating grace for all living entities. And the Supreme Bhagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda, has come down by an ancient enlightened Hindu civilization, and it was where the science of enlightenment and powers was lived and taught as a lifestyle. And for the first time in modern day, the supreme point of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world. And which is never accomplished before. And all of this knowledge and this science of power manifestation is authentic, is passed down from one generation to the next through the science of Diksha, which is initiation by enlightened gurus. And the supreme point of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught into these sciences to revive the initiations and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the disciplines of Vedanta, Srividya, Yoga, and Yoga, Mantra Shastra, Siddhavidya, Paramashivoham.
Jnana is mapped into our consciousness, prajna, which manifests as possibilities and power of every being, the prajnana.
And the science of power manifestation is authenticated through four aspects of evidences or pramanas. So the first is the Shastra Pramana, which are the eternal and the source scriptures. And then the next is the Apta Pramana, which are the experiences and results of Aptas or authorities of Hinduism, where the Vedic rishis and scientists have time tested and verified these sciences.
This millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. And we have Pratiksha Pramana, or the empirical evidence from the observation and scientific experimentation.
Now, many of you might have heard you would have heard about the Vedas and Agmas. Many of you might be familiar with the Vedas and Agmas. So let us see what exactly the Vedas and Agmas are, in which superior authority of Hindus and our pure science by the ultimate truths are explained. And the Agmas, the scriptures where the applied technology and the applied sciences are given the states of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. And a reference cited from these Shastras or source scriptures is called the Shastra Pramana.
let us now get ready to witness a very unique and exciting demonstration of the power of third eye.
Yes, so we'll be first seeing the power of third eye, which is seeing with the eyes blindfolded. And the Shastra Pramana for this power comes from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Kapalantarmanonyasya tishthanmilitalochanaha kramena manasodadyat lakshaye lakshyamuttamam. And the translation for this verse is, by fixing the mind on the inner space within succession, the mind is the ultimate goal Lakshyam by having. And the next is the Apta Pramana, where Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye during the revelation of the Hindu Purana Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna beautifully, Natu mam shakyase drashtu manenaiva swachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram. And the translation of this verse says, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore I grant you divine third eye vision. Behold my cosmic opulence. So this comes from the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye, and this 11th chapter is the description of Bhagavan Krishna's cosmic form, which is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Krishna through.
And the Atma Pramana, the experience of Swamiji himself about these powers in Swamiji's own words. The first experience that I was able to see all of that as me. And empirical evidence from experimentation. And a study was conducted on the supreme concept where they compared the metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and negative and meditative states using the positron emission stand. And it was found that when doing daily activities, high activity is measured in 90% of the rest of the brain that eats. And the Sakshi Pramana, the experiences and results of the extraordinary manifestations happening to the initiated disciples of the Supreme Concept system. This rare sacred science of third eye awakening is being made available to humanity for their ultimate enrichment and conscious evolution by the Supreme Concept of Buddhism. And as the living incarnation of Paramashivoham, the Supreme Concept of profound yogic states that surpass all other spiritual sciences through the initiation of Diksha of millions of people who have been initiated and are experiencing the profound results as extraordinary powers in their everyday lives. So now, witnessing and experiencing the live Sakshi Pramana, the live demonstration of these extraordinary powers by.
Yes. So now, here with me I have a hand, which in front is a thick opaque plastic sheet, and in the back there is thick black sponge, which will not allow any type of light to enter. And my eyes would sit into these two sockets over here. Or if you can see, and will also this eye band will also be covering the bridge of the nose. And this is now be put on my eyes by a volunteer. And once it is done, any of you are watching us live on YouTube, you can put your comments in the yes, you can put it a little tighter. Yes. Yes. So now the eye band up and down. So all of you can see that the eye band has been put anywhere. And now the YouTube comment section will be projected in front of me, and we'll also be projecting it for all of you. Yes, Ma Susan Davidson has put Nithyanandamma. It's Nithyanandamma. And the comments are being projected as well, so all of you can also see, all of you watching us live, you can see the comment section being projected as well. Shivam, who has put Arunachala. Susan Davidson has put, so nice to see you manifesting this power. Yes, now another comment is there from how Satyajatisham, who has put Mount Kailash. Yes, so you can different emojis, numbers, a random sentence that does not even make sense, and it can be any. Yes, and here with me, I also have this Guaranteed Solutions book. And yes, we have another comment from our Susan. They put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful fall colors happening in Canada. Book of Guaranteed Solutions with me. So any of you watching us live, you can put a specific number that you would maybe you can, if you can put 73, then I can open page number 73 and read that page. If any number of your choice, you can put that page number and I will open that page and read the contents of that page. So you can, any of you watching us live right now, you can put your comments that you would like me to read, and you can also put yes, so Ma Pushkala Nitya has Ma Pushkala Nanda Nitya has put 100 Davidson has put page 33. So yes, I'll open page 5. So you can all see the book, and then now I'll be opening page 164, 158, okay, so 155. And on page number 155, it says, yes, and yes, I've opened page number 155. So the contents of that page, we're actually there. You would have surely not thought that golden days. That's all. This is how you delude yourself with your worries. You totally miss the beauty of the present when you are in tune with the present. And every moment is a celebration. You will continue to be in the present because you are celebrating every moment. You will never go to the past for celebrating. So that is the first 2 paras of this page. So this is page number 155. So now I'll be opening page number 33, which commented. Okay, so this is page 33. Disciple towards his city. On the way, there was a river that was flowing. There was a beautiful woman standing near it. When she saw them, she requested the master to help her cross the river. The master promptly carried her to the other side of the river, left her there, and returned. The disciple was totally disturbed by what he saw. He was burning inside with what he saw. As they walked along towards the city, he couldn't resist asking, Master, how can you, as a master, touch and carry a young girl? So this is starting the story. I'll continue the story on the next page. And it says, the master replied, I let her there long back. Why are you still carrying her? So that is the end of the story. And all of you can see the story as well. Yes. And now if anyone else also would like to put your comments in the YouTube comment section, you can put your comments. So yes, Ma Pushkalananda has put wonderful Ma, then Namaskar emoji, 2 clapping emojis, and a thank you and an exclamation mark. And yes, now with that, let us now get into the next power, the power of body scanning. I request the volunteer to now remove the IBAN. All of you can see as the IBAN is being removed. Yes, so all of you can see the IBAN. It is just as it was before, there is nothing added or removed from it. And now we will be getting into the next power, the power of body scanning. So for those of you who might be joining us newly, and if you might be wondering what exactly this power of body scanning is, the power of body scanning is the power that awakens the ability to scan and get diseases, illnesses, medically diagnosed issues, body, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. And its part is power of body scanning. So the first is the Shastra Pramana, which comes from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Swadehe jagato vapi sukshma sukshmatarani cha tattvani yani nilayam dhyatvante vyajyate para. This verse is cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constitutive principles of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole Paramashiva, by the experience of such restful awareness, one becomes complete from all thoughts, and the ultimate universal divine power, Paradevi Adi Shakti, is revealed, and the supreme power manifestation happens. And the next is the Apta Pramana, which comes from the life of Siddha. So Teriyar was a Siddha and one of the prominent disciples of Agastya. And Agastya one day uses the power of body scanning when a man suffering from severe headache comes to him. So Agastya, using the power of body scanning, he identified the headache and he immediately instructs his disciple Teriyar to perform an open head surgery. And the next is the article by the Supreme Point of Hinduism himself on the 22nd December 2019 of how he uses the power of body scanning. Paraphrasing his words, multiple compound hand fracture, I was forced. It was revealed that I had been poisoned without our knowledge. I immediately used diagnostic methods instead of medical. I used allopathy as a second opinion to verify my findings. And here all of you can see a few sakshi, the sharings of the disciples who have successfully manifested the power of body scanning and experienced it. Here are just a few, but thousands around the world have experienced, and even you will be able to manifest this power. So now let us get into the live demonstration of this power of body scanning. So anyone who would like can put your comments in the YouTube comment section. Yes, Suma Susan Davidson has put as a proper consent is needed for this power. And anyone else also watching us live on YouTube now, you can put your comments. You can, when watching us right now, you can put your comments in the live YouTube comment section and request for a body scan. Yes, anyone who would like a body scan, you can put your comment. You'll be wondering how exactly this power is manifested, how it is shown, and how it manifests. For any power, not only for the power of body scanning, but for any power, the first thing is by connecting is the key, the secret password, passcode to connect in the space of oneness with Paramashiva and Swamiji. So the Mahavakya is the gift given to the world by Swamiji to connect with Paramashiva and Swamiji. So just by chanting that and connecting in the space of oneness with Swamiji and declaring to manifest the power, you will be able to manifest the power. And yes, now we have a comment from Marjan Kwa who has asked, Ma, I want a body scan. You can tell me anything. Yes, Ma. Now, yes, so Ma, what I was able to see for you, Ma, was that in your stomach there is lots of the like all the food that is not getting digested is getting accumulated in your, because it's like it is not getting digested in so in the next few months it can be a problem as well. There will be germs which fall as well. The solution that Paramashiva revealed this problem was that morning, and also in the afternoon you should drink 1 cup of hot water with little honey. Start drinking that and stars, and that will help in healing your body more. So this is what Paramashiva revealed for you, Ma Jankya. And if you're able to read it, you can get back in the comment section. And yes, Ma Tracy Cutter, now I'll be doing a scan for you. Yes, so Ma Tracy Cutter, what I was able to see for you, Ma, was that your backbone is, you're actually quite healthy. I was able to see just your backbone is actually getting little not weak, but it is getting little stiff. And that is actually because you're not most of the time in your nasal part, especially blockage of dust particles, that is also giving an impact on the back, was that you have to start sitting straight consciously, start sitting straight, be aware when you sit and start sitting straight, and even few times throughout the day whenever you remember. You can also sit in Padmasana whenever possible. And for your nose, I was able to see for the blockage, you should actually clear the throat. When if you, I was able to see if you start clearing your throat, then automatically even that area will get cleansed. So you can do the nature, and also you can just you can whichever method you use to just clear your throat. You can drink water and just make sure that you clean and clear the throat with of all the phlegm and everything, and that will help in healing the nasal part and removing the dust blockage. So this is what I was able to see for you, and you can get back in the comment section if you were able to relate. And yes, Ma Zhengqua has gone back saying thank you, Ma. Thank you. Yes, Ma, I'll do it. Yes, thank you, Ma, for getting back. And yes, with that, I thank you for this power manifestation segment. And we will now be getting into the next segment of this program. Station of any other power. You can always come every day at 2 a.m. IST and 4 p.m. IST for the power manifestation segments and all the other. So I once again thank all of you who have joined us for the power manifestation segment. And yes, Tracy Tucker has gone. So once again, I thank all of you who have joined us for the power manifestation, and we will now be moving to the next segment of this program, where we will be learning more about Devi Parashakti, especially during this season of Navaratri. We will be learning about her form that we are celebrating today on the 7th day of Navaratri. And we will be learning about how the world is today and the way forward. So please stay tuned for the further segments of this program.
So now let us enter into this next segment and understand what is the way forward as we are stuck in the world today, this ongoing pandemic, pralaya, so much of suffering and destruction around us. Let us see what Hinduism has offered as a solution. Currently, the total confirmed COVID-19 cases is well over 233.5 of the 1st of October. This includes risen to more than 150,000 per day in the United States alone. And the average population increase per day is 104,893 per day, as the rate of those getting infected is almost on average rate of population growth. And per day, an additional 0.002% of is getting infected by COVID-19. COVID-19, and this is rising daily. And unfortunately, so we've had attempts at lockdown, quarantine, vaccination. None of these have provided the solution or are necessarily feasible for everyone across the globe. The average rate of death per day is 126,500 people. This is about 0.02% 5-6% of the world. This is deaths for all possible causes. The average death per year is 44.4 million people and growing each year. This is, again, for all possible causes of death. So if we say just for our understanding that the population growth per day and death rate are moving years, we will see the decline of the entire population.
And here you can see the need of a global solution that works across all national policies. And you can also see the situation of the WHO regions. America, which has 89 million confirmed cases, Europe, which has 70 million confirmed cases, then Southeast Asia, which has 43 million confirmed cases, then the Eastern Mediterranean, which has 15 million confirmed cases, and the Western Pacific, which has 8, and Africa, which has 6 million confirmed cases.
Floods, storms, people have faced so much of destruction from these natural calamities caused due to the climate change crisis and global warming. According to the United Nations, a new scientific report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, warns that we are on a crash course towards catastrophe if global temperatures are allowed to rise anymore. And the window to slow or even halt climate act is rapidly closing. The drastic difference between just a 0.5 degree of difference between temperature rising could have very dire consequences if just instead of 1.2 degrees, 1.5 degrees Celsius, the temperatures rise to 2 degrees Celsius. We could see very drastic, realistic changes in our everyday lives. So it is highly important that we take very seriously, cautiously, and curb the emission, facing the consequences of it if we do not.
And a few immediate precautionary methods that all of us need to take is protecting ourselves by being in quarantine and following the local government's guidelines and regulations. But even if this happens, the effect on our survival needs like food, clothes, and shelter, especially for less privileged whom we call poor, for whom resources are not available, is unknown. In the Brihadaranya Upanishad, 4th Adhyaya and 4th mantra, the 5th mantra defines karma in a verse, and it says, Yata kari, yata chari, tata bhavati, sadhu kari, sadhu bhavati, papa kari, papi bhavati, punya punyena, karmana bhavati, papa papena. And the translation for this verse is, as it does it and acts. So it becomes, by doing good, it becomes good. And by doing evil, it becomes evil. It becomes virtuous to good acts and vicious to evil acts.
It is our greed to make life luxurious and comfortable, which is causing so much destruction around us. 82% of wild mammals have already become extinct since the rise of the human civilization. 80% of all marine mammals have already become extinct. 50% of all plant life and 50% of fish have become extinct due to the rise of the human population. We need to stop the idea that the whole planet Earth belongs to only the human race.
And we have forgotten that we share the world with others. So let us set a trend of moving to a nature-based lifestyle, and let's stop torturing and killing animals, and let's drop the idea that planet Earth is exclusively for us.
And we've seen the effects of the meat industry and how much it damages, how much of drain it is on resources, human the natural resources that we have. Just 1 kg of wheat takes 15,000 liters of fresh water to produce. In comparison, lentils or any plant-based product, plant-based 5,000 liters of to kill animals. Not only you disturb the environment, you disturb the ecosystem by releasing so much pollution and suffering.
And what is the permanent solution for this pandemic? As per Hinduism, the purpose of the world, the primary principle of the universe is let us all coexist and celebrate our life. Ahimsa Paramo Dharma.
Stop all the actions from anger, lust, greed, pride, jealousy, and delusion. Let us move back to the Hindu lifestyle, the lifestyle of aptigraha, asteya, and ahimsa, the lifestyle of non-stealing, living with minimal things, and non-violence.
And every crisis that humanity faces, Hinduism has found solutions. Hinduism is a religion which has seen at least 5 complete wipeouts of planet Earth and the wiping out of civilization. And we have the knowledge. We have recorded and documented every time when civilization was wiped out and how we have rebuilt it.
Let us look at some of the world histories and some of the examples of when the human civilization had almost become extinct, and Hindus, the incarnation, had brought the solution and saved humanity. Bhagavan Vishnu incarnated to bring the Veda and the Agamas back from the dark energy during the manifestation of the universe in the form of fish, the Matsyavatara, and landed on planet Earth to give it to Lord Brahma. After a great deluge, Bhagavan Vishnu brought Manu's book and the Vedagamas, the whole thing, and restarted the civilization. That is why the Pandya kingdom, the earliest kingdom, has a fish as their to the land by the Matsyavatara. From there, the whole Pandya civilization started. During King Ravana's reign, 7 crore people were ruled by King Ravana and his iron fist. Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra Prabhu incarnated to save the 54 desha. The entire world nuclear collapse, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna incarnated to end this apocalypse. And this is detailed in the Mahabharata. And Bhagavan Mahadeva himself protected the city of Varanasi, promising, I will hold these people, protect them, even during the pralaya, even when the whole world is destroyed during the great deluge. I'll hold these people in the tip of my finger.
And in the Upanishads, the rishis celebrate the happening of incarnations who come down to liberate people from crisis. And in the Taittiriya Upanishad, verse 3, Bhrigu section, ahamannam 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 ahamannado ahamannado ahamannadaha.
The ultimate conscious happens again and again. Acharya as Guru and as incarnation. Paramashiva reaching out to liberate individual souls from bondages through knowledge is Acharya. Paramashiva reaching individual souls to liberate them from bondage through initiation, the Shakti Pada and Shakti Pada is Guru. And Paramashiva reaching out to individuals in the future is Leela. And the manifestations who do these Leelas are incarnation.
Dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam dharmasya tadatmanam shrujamiham, which means whenever there is a decline in individual consciousness, the collective unconsciousness increases. To establish the righteousness of the eternal consciousness, the signs of eternal bliss, dharma samstapanartaya, I myself appear millennium after millennium, sambhavami yuge yuge. And humanity time and again during crisis. Let us now learn about the form of Devi Parashakti that all of us are celebrating today on the 7th day of Navaratri. So the form that we are celebrating today is the form of Devi Durga, where Devi Parashakti manifests the form of Devi Durga. So in this next segment, let us learn about Devi Durga. So in Devi Mahatmyam, chapter 11, verse Sarva Shakti Samanvite, and the translation is, O Queen of all, you who, O Devi, salutations be to you, Devi Durga. And another verse beautifully says, Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute, which means, I bow down to the goddess Narayani, who makes everything auspicious, as she is the most auspicious one, and also fulfills all the desires of those who come for the shelter of the three-eyed Gauri.
Devi Durga, the beautiful Durga mantra, is recited during almost all the celebrations, rituals, and events of Ma Durga. Also, a highly powerful mantra means that Devi Ma is the most auspicious one and the one who bestows auspiciousness upon all of the world. She is pure and holy, rendered to her, and is also called the mother of the three worlds. She is Gauri, the daughter of the mountain king, and can give wisdom and strengthen all along with a prosperous life.
And who brings compassion, peace, and calm, and order to the chaos, destruction, and conflict in any situation.
She is worshipped in different forms and considered a form of Shakti. The word Durga embodies freedom from all evils like injustice, cruelty, hatred, ego, and other forms of pain and suffering. Thus, this is one of the most powerful and decorated gods in the Hindu religion.
And the legend goes that Durga was created by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva to fight the demon Mahishasura, who could not be defeated by either man or God, and was continuously raining terror on man and God alike. And the weapons held by Durga are given to her by each of the gods and symbolize the culmination of all the divine powers in her. Shiva's trident or Trishul, Vishnu's discus or Sudarshana chakra, twin gods.
Ramakrishna said to utter the name, going in front of you, rotating his Trishul trident. He will be just rotating his Trishul, so all the negative is destroyed.
So focus on success in your life's goals. If you are not terrorized by the fears society wants to dump on you, if you decide not to be exploited by the fears society wants to dump on you, you will see the simple, straightforward, actual, real dangers, strategies, and save yourself. The Shakti of Durga will manifest.
Now, listen to Devi Parashakti's divine plays from the Devi Mahatmyam story.
So Devi Durga is now surrounded after the demons Chanda and Munda they did by a demon named Raktabija. He possesses a unique power. Whenever a drop of his blood falls on earth, another demon of identical size and strength springs up. Just as
In the fighting, demons proliferate from his will and utter terror pleases the gods until Durga merely smiles until it perished between her gnashing teeth, and Raktabija, drained of blood, falls dead.
and this scene bridges two levels of reality. On one level, the red drops of Raktabija's blood represent the overwhelm to maturity and bursts with seeds for the next planting.
Every desire produces the seeds of many more, and we find we are never satisfied. The ghastly image of Kali in her red-eyed, emaciated form, known as Chamunda, avidly licking up the drops of blood, tells us that desires are best conquered when nipped in the bud.
And this century, most of us are caught up in conflicting desires, changing every minute, moving from one desire to the next.
Unconsciously today. Whether it is thinking or talking or doing, it is done unconsciously without awareness.
And that is the reason we are not able to connect the cause and the effect of many of the things that happen in our lives. We always think we have been dished out unfair results. We are blissfully unaware that it was we who caused the effects. We made it happen by way of unconscious living and without being more karma.
The first step is to have a clear understanding that karma is powerless in the presence of the incarnation. Somewhere this karma chakra needs to be broken and you need to be given a new energy, inspiration, and possibility. You are always stuck. These can be given to you only when the divine intervention happens. Mahadeva intervenes in your life in the form of Guru. He assumes the completely light. It means the ideas or knowledge or the clicks that bring you out of these depressive thoughts, that bring you out of this influence of your karma. So now let us understand the supreme concept of Nithyananda Paramashivam as the Nityavatara of Devi Parashakti herself. The Kailasa, one of the Shamala Pita Sarvatimpitam, rare and sacred lineage of concepts, has been systematically carried over in unbroken progression from the ages. The chosen emissaries of Lord Paramashiva and Devi Parashakti, the Guru Mahasanidanam, the concepts of Kailasa, one of the Shamala Pita Sarvatimpitam, are the direct representatives of the cosmos. On the 27th of April 2012, Srila Shri Nithyananda Shri Jnana Sambandha Deshika Paramacharya Swamigal was formally appointed as the lawful successor, descendant, and inheritor, invested with all the powers, duties, obligations to perform the rituals, the spiritual, religious, and customary rites vested in the Kailasa, one of the Shamla Pita Satvijnipita, and has been reviving this spiritual, religious, and linguistic epicenter to its original glory since. Now let us look at one of the Shamla Pita Satvijnipita, the Madurai Adinam, very kingdom, the enlightenment ecosystem of Devi Meenakshi and Bhagavan Sundareshwara. Sorry for the technical glitch. We will be watching that video very shortly. So in this video, we will be understanding the history of the Kailasa, the Shamala Pita Satvijnipita, how Devi Meenakshi built this kingdom, and now bringing it back to its original. Let us now watch that video.
The ancient temple town of Madurai in southern India boasts of a 2,500-year-old history of spirituality. Its existence back to the 3rd century BC, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities of the world. Legend says that Madurai was established by the cosmic mother herself, who incarnated as Princess Meenakshi, daughter of the pious king Malayadwaja Pandian. Of Shaiva Siddhanta tradition. The story goes that as a baby, Tirunjana Sambandar was once nourished by the milk of enlightenment from the cosmic mother herself. This child prodigy arrived in Madurai to effortlessly defeat the learned Jain monks with his wisdom, healing powers, and spiritual prowess, and restored Madurai to her beloved religion, Shaivism, by reviving the ancient Madurai Adinam and the Meenakshi temple, which had fallen to desolate ruin. Madurai Adinam is today the world's oldest living Hindu organization, with a recorded history alone spanning a glorious 1,500 years and lineage of illustrious pontiffs to this very day. Over the centuries, the pontiff of the Madurai Adinam is known by the title Guru Mahasannidhanam and inherits the responsibility of carrying forward the traditions of Tirunjana Sambandar's sacred work.
On 27th April 2012, a new era began in the history of Madurai Adinam. The 292nd Pontiff, Srila Sri Arunagirinatha Jnana Sambandha Desika Paramacharya Swamigal, guided by intuition and inducement by Lord Shiva, coronated a charismatic young saint as the 293rd Pontiff of Madurai Adinam.
An accomplished yogi, a pragmatic social visionary by millions worldwide. Within weeks of his ascent to the sacred throne, he brought about sweeping changes to the Adinam, including ancient monastery, Annadan, free food for thousands every day, free medical camps, yoga classes, scriptural study, spiritual healing, and meditation programs. The traditional Adinam now has a website and two-way video conferencing. Vast properties belonging to the Adinam are being reclaimed from illegal encroachment. Its numerous temples are being restored to sanctity, and neighboring villages are being adopted with basic amenities, education and medical care being long.
Here, I take the commitment of making Madurai Adinam as an international religion. All of Madurai Adinam make Hindu Saiva tradition alive, revived, lived.
With a brand new pontiff at its helm, Madurai Adinam proved to be more than just another traditional monastery, as a role of spiritual organizations today, as power centers and guiding forces, forging the enlightened government of the new world.
Yes. Now that we've understood the history of the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kailasa Nithyananda has declared about the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, has revealed as his vision from Bhagavan Paramashivoham himself. The 292nd Pontiff of Madhuri Adinam, Sri Arunagiri Nithyananda Paramacharya Swamigal, is the predecessor to the Supreme Concept of Hinduism and the esteemed Guru-based tradition of the kingdom of the Kailasa on the Dvadashanta Shamla Bija Sarvakingdom, the Madhuri Adinam since 2012. The 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam had the divine vision of Bhagavan Paramashiva and Devi Meenakshi, who instructed him to coronate the avatar as his successor, the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam. And this historic record of Madhuri Adinam. This is the historic. In this video, you can see the historic record of Madhuri Adinam, introducing the successor, the Supreme Pontiff of this itself, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And you are welcome to watch this video online on YouTube and see the full description of what the 292nd Guru Mahasannidhanam had to say about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the incarnation of Paramashiva himself.
And here you can see a few pictures of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism incarnated as the 293rd Jagadguru Shyamala Peetham.
And the 200 the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been coronated as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Madurai, the oldest in the Papal state and the monastic kingdom, at the age of 34, and has been reviving this enlightenment of these temples under this ecosystem.
And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who has been declared as the successor of the Arunachala Sarvapitham by the Guru Parampara at the age of 16 on the 34th of May 1994.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the International Nithyananda Sangha to revive Kailasa internationally at the mere age of 20 in 1999. And Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the Adi Kailasa Satvipita at the age of 24 in 2002.
So here you can see the pictures of the Adi Kailasa.
And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been declared as the successor of the Bhagyanagara Shivpura Satvipita in 2004.
Has also been coordinated as the incumbent emperor of the Suryavamsha Sarangi Samrajyam of the Suryavamsha lineage at the age of 26 on the 31st of December 2004.
Pontiff is the reviver of the Adi Pallava Sarvakya at the age of 29 in 2007. And as the successor of Kashi Sarvakya
has been coronated as the successor of the Kashi Sarvakya. And the Supreme Court of Hindu, and he is actually the youngest Mahamandeshwar to be coronated as part of as the head of Mahamandeshwar Pada.
As the Acharya Mahamandaleshwara, the oldest monastic order of Hinduism by the Acharya Mahamandaleshwara Sukhdevananda, the then incumbent spiritual head at the age of 35 in 2013. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tanjavur Adinam. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been coronated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Tiruvarur Adinam at the age of 36 in 2014. And at the age of also coordinated as the Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Veda Adinam. In 2015. And at the age of 37 in 2015, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism Sannidhanam of the Adipita Kolara Mutt, the oldest mutt in Karnataka. And at the age of 36 in 2016, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was elected by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu ornated, recognized by 1,000 Hindu leaders as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the foremost leader of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is revered as the most prolific, most viewed guru in the digital world, and has been read and watched by. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the digital Hindu nation with over 1 billion views, and you can connect with Kailasa, the greatest digital name, via their platform. And the Pontiff of Hinduism has contributed over 23 vegetarian food banks, medical services to sustainable Hindu practices through various international agencies and bodies, and many more. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been tirelessly working to bring superconscious breakthrough to humanity over the last 27 years. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has authored over 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, English, Tamil, and Sanskrit, which have been translated into 50 languages with over 1,000 titles. Here and in Tamil and Spanish as well. All of these are freely available for anyone to download and read and enjoy. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has over 20 million copies of books and articles sold, read, and downloaded. Here is the release of these most famous publications, including Living Enlightenment book. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf scriptures, and over 20 million digital books. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been working tirelessly to digitize, decode, and make all of this freely available for humanity to benefit.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has delivered over 1,000 hours of discourses with over 1 billion views on social media.
Is respected as a commentator of all the sacred.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has been a leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader.
And most recently, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been recognized by the California State Senate as the sovereign of the sovereign state of Kailasa, and has been January 3rd has been declared as the Nithyananda Day in the state of California to recognize the contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism has also been acclaimed as one of the top 10 spiritually influential living personalities in Body, Mind, Spirit magazine. Is the reviver of the sovereign order of Kailasa, led by Supreme Court of Hinduism and the Nithyananda order of monks, nuns, and the Hindu diaspora, who are working a superconscious breakthrough to humanity.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the
And the Supreme Court of Hinduism is the establisher of 1,000+ Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems around the world.
The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the founder and reviver of over 100 Sadhguru.
And various heads and leaders of various akhadas and mats around India and around the world have recognized the Supreme Court of Hinduism for the form of Paramashivoham Akhada Parishad, a group of 13 akhadas and over 2 crore sadhus, monks in India, welcomes the Supreme Court of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanithanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, as one day the Supreme Court of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanithanam Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam Swamiji, is going to be called of the whole world, and he is going to be the spiritual guide for the world, and peace will spread in the whole world. People are not yet aware of his energy, of the energy of Swamiji in reality. Swamiji is the Swarupa, form of Bhagavan, God. And we are offering prayers not just to a guru, but to an embodiment of Bhagavan. I am sure that Swamiji must have done intense penance, tapas, in his childhood and merged into God, as a result of which he is expressing the soul of God. You can watch the video where Narendra Maharaj has spoken and about the Supreme.
And Sri Shanta Veer Mahaswami is the head of the Kolar Mutt, the oldest recorded mutt in Karnataka, dating back to more than 6,500 years, and has declared with his authority that whenever humanity falls into suffering and pain, Ishwar, the divine himself, does austerities, tapas for the upliftment. Ishwar is the embodiment of divine light, and Nithyanandaji Maharaj is seated as the embodied divine light, spreading peace and serving the whole of humanity from India. Nithyanandaji is a treasure house of jnana, the sacred knowledge.
And just like this, various different matas and akhadas have spoken about the Supreme Court of Hinduism. Now, with that, let us move to the next segment of this program, where all of us will be Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam as the Guru.
of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, happening as the Guru in our life, a conscious breakthrough. Yes. So Swamiji has shared, there is only one thing we know. The moment the decision comes, such a spontaneous energy is released in you without even micromillisecond, the decision is executed. It becomes action reality. You're habituated. Muscle memory is responsible for making the decision and executing it micromilliseconds before the yoga. The purpose of your life happens in you. Analyze, understand, take the thought to its logical conclusion for the purpose of raise the coherence of your system to its highest possible peak. Violence is anti-yoga, against yoga. When you have the thought of violence, how to bring the pratipaksha bhavana. Get yourself back to non-violence and not to allow the violence to get root, suffering, and it will bring ignorance. I should not allow it. This is the pratipaksha bhavana. That is the right way of living yama and niyama, having confidence over your understanding and executing that understanding very strongly. The word confidence means courage to live and execute the truths you intellectually grasp. Pratipaksha bhavana means inability to create the contrary thoughts to negativity and destroy negativity will allow negativity to grow in you. Once the negativity grasps you over, your life is hell, you're done, you're done. Whenever negativity arises in you, don't give up. Stand up till confidence. Maharshi very beautifully says, Aimbula Kalvara Agathinil entered my house to rob me. Where were you? Were you not in my inner? So when negativity enters to rob you, very important. Immediately responding to your negativity, catch the thief possibility. It is not necessary. You need to continuously project negativity or positivity on the future possibility. Simply seeing the future possibility without projecting negativity or positivity onto it is the Zen masters. Even what you think is wrong, if it is done by a wise man and enlightened being, accept it. It is good for you. And this science, gifted to humanity by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on the 17th of December 2010, powerful discourse which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has gifted to us for deeper understandings of the science.
I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today, straight way out of ignorance. Straight way to be out of ignorance. In the sutra, Patanjali gives one of the powerful method, a technique, to be out of ignorance, to establish yourself in yama and niyama, to raise yourself to the highest coherence. You will be surprised. Today's Patanjali never utters more than 5 or 6 words in one sutra, maximum 5 or 6. Sometimes just 2 words, one sutra. Even there is one sutra, only 1 word. Here, he gives a 2 21 to give for this technique. I'll read the sutra and try to express the truth expressed in this sutra, embedded in this sutra. This is the 85th sutra of Patanjali in chapter 2, 34th verse. Vidarkaha himsaha adayaha krita karita anumodita lopa krodha moha purvaka mrutu madhya adiva dukkha ajnana ananta phala idi. Yesterday Patanjali gave us a technique how to create the contrary thoughts and establish yourself in the right yama and niyama, in the highest coherence. Now he is expanding on that same, giving an example, because he doesn't want people to misunderstand. Understand? This sutra can be very easily misunderstood. So he is giving us an example so that we don't misunderstand. We don't miss it. Because just in this one sutra, you may miss the whole spiritual practice. Have confidence. Falsehood and so forth, whether committed, caused or approved, either to avarice or anger or ignorance, whether slight, they result in infinite ignorance and misery. This is the method of thinking the contrary. He is giving us the technique. Swami Press. The obstacles to yoga, such acts of violence, are approved. They may be motivated by greed, anger, or self-interest. They may be small or moderate, but they never cease to result in pain and ignorance. One should overcome distracting thoughts by remembering. Swami Sachidananda translates as, anger or infatuation, whether indulged in with mild, medium or extreme intensity, they are based on ignorance and bring certain pain. Reflecting thus is also Pratipaksha Bhavanam. Each translation, if you see, they are actually completely from different angle. This is the greatness of Vedic tradition. We give freedom to as per the understanding of an Acharya way. Swami Prabhavananda, who is disciple of Vivekananda, who belongs to Vivekananda Sampradaya, he translates this completely different way and has courage and guts to publish it, and people respect it. That is the amount of freedom we have. Understand? Refute, alter, amend your guru's guru. Maybe after, I don't know, maybe 50 years, altered or even contrary, the greatness is, his translation is also accepted in the same order. The same order publication, both books. That's the greatness of our freedom of thinking, freedom of express. As I experienced this sutra, Vidarka Himsadaya Krita Karitanumodita Lopa Krodha Moga Purvaka Mrutu Madhyadi Matra Dukkha Jnananta Phala iti Pratipaksha Bhavanam. I'll tell you exactly how Raghupati Yogi, now I can remember the whole slide as it is. How Raghupati Yogi taught me this sutra. In Arunachaleshwara temple, place called Krittigai Mandapam, that was the stone Mandapa, where he used to teach me the yoga and yoga sutra. He was sitting on a wooden plank. He was sitting on some 4 or 5 pillows. That's the way he will do. He'll put some 4 or 5 pillows on bed and I have to sit on that. And I will have to continuously do the pranayama. The way he will teach the levitation. If I am getting down, when he removes the pillow, then he will stop and ask me to do more pranayama and kumbhaka. And then after he removes all the pillows, if I am, then he will get his pet dog to sit under me. That fellow will be sitting. Because if I release, I will fall on the ground and I will fall on that fellow and that fellow will bite me. So I will have to be just holding on. Or land in a very slow way. Very slowly, in a very subtle way, I have to release the air. Not even through the nose. I have to release the air through the kurmanadi. Means such sensitive prana. If you release the air through the nostril itself, you will just fall. Because nostril is a too big hole. So that has to be locked. Not called prana. It's called apana. The air which leaves your system, other than the nostril holes, is called apana. Slowly I have to release and then land on the... I have to balance and land on the dog so that he doesn't bite me. So I was sitting on 4 or 5 pillows and he had an old book in which the Sanskrit sutra will be there and Tamil translation will be there. He read out the sutra. I was sitting and asked, what does it mean? And let me exactly tell you in Tamil, then I'll translate. Because it's a... அது ஒண்ணுமில்லடா. Exactly, I'll repeat the word. ஒரு எண்ணம் வரும் பொழுது செய்யணும் அப்படின்னு தோன்றதுக்கு பதிலா இது மாத்தா வச்சா, இது மாத்தினா நமக்குள்ள என்ன நடக்கும்னு பார்த்து விதைக்கிறதான் பிரதிபக்ஷ பாவனம். I'll translate. When a thought and put an alternative thought, establish that in you, is called Pratipaksha Bhavana. A very simple way he finished it. I'll explain step by step. This is a one technique, one process which you can practice whole. Practice unclutching, your mind will be transformed. If you practice yoga, your body will be transformed. So each technique transforms some of you. This is the only technique which can transform your muscle memory. Muscle memory means the part which makes the decision spontaneously to do any act and completes it for making decision, and without even micro-millisecond completing the act before even you are aware of it. Please understand. As I was telling the other day, you do not act the way you act because you are habituated. No. Trained. No. You have engraved memories. There is no space. Such a spontaneous is released in you. Reality. See the funny thing. It's very funny and very difficult to understand. Grasping is such a difficult thing. So unless you understand the source of this, it's practically impossible for you to alter. He is responsible for become aware. Such dangerous thing, you see. So the muscle memory need to be attended. This is the only technique which can attend the muscle memory. I need to expand on this technique more and more in a detailed way. Today I'll give you the simple meaning. Then I'll tell you how to. Patanjali says, for example, violence is anti-yoga, against yoga. When you have the thought of violence, how to bring the Pratipaksha Bhavana, get yourself back to non-violence, not to allow the violence to get rooted in you. Remembering, no, violence will bring suffering and it will bring ignorance. I should not allow it. So he is teaching us reasoning. Down and teaching us the applied way, it means almost that this one process is so, it can transform your being. If you transform your intellect, even emotion, not muscle memory, you are in suffering. I tell you. Because I have seen. I have had many disciples whose intellect and emotion was transformed. Unfortunately, they never transformed. Muscle memory transformation means every thought comes out only with a clear sensor system. The awareness and consciousness have casted their energy, shining their knowledge on that thought. Even if few thoughts allowed without awareness can cause so much misery and suffering, can cause so much. I have seen people suffering because they allowed just simple one or two things. Whenever the negative thoughts which are against the yoga, the purpose of your life happens in you, analyze, understand, take that thought to its logical conclusion and create the opposite understanding, means the right understanding for the purpose of your life, and raise the coherence of your system to its highest possible peak. That is the right way of living, Yama. Having confidence. The word confidence means courage to live and execute the truths you intellectually grasp. I have a story for you guys. One boy goes to his father. What's the difference between confident and confidential? Of that, I am confident. Your friend Timmy is also my son. That is confidential. Sometime you need to time the stories properly, time the jokes properly. So understanding about confidence, the courage to live the truth and execute it in your body language. In right place. Because we all suffer with this one suffering. And ideal in practical life. Again, creating the Pratipaksha Bhavana. Creating contrary thoughts to negativity and bringing yourself back to your center. It's such a difficult job. That is why sometimes I need to push them to do that job. Push them to get back to their center. Because inability to create Pratipaksha Bhavana will allow negativity to grow in you. Once the negativity grasps you over, your life is in hell. You are done. You are done. Even if it is fake, the restful awareness and peace and joy are over you. But even if it is so-called logically strong idea, if you are restless, suffering, those torture, restlessness and suffering will stay inside, and these strong logical thoughts will become more and more powerful over you. So Patanjali's on Yama and Niyama, highest coherence of life, and told us how to be established in that, and giving us now technique, the applied technique. When you have violence, is giving us an example. First time in Patanjali Sutra, I am seeing an example. He doesn't wait to give example, and he just gives the sutra and goes. He knows because his disciples were such high intelligent people. If he is giving example, means something very important. Very important. Please understand. It's a very important process for all spiritual seekers in the life. Creating contrary thoughts to negative thoughts. Because whenever negativity rises in you, don't give up. Don't flow with it. Don't go with it. Again and again and again stand up till your muscle memories feel confidence. I can say that this is the one process which has raised my whole awareness in the young age. I used to have a notebook. Whatever spiritual things I read or all the essence I'll write down. Necessity to understand, I'll read that. I'll read that. With me. Book. Now I'm trying to remember the contents of my book to publish, because there are so many things I have noted down in that book which I heard from Arunagiri Yogeshwara. Almost it's like I'll remind me, all my pratibhaksha bhavanas have come to a human being. I have solution in that book. And I'll always refer to it. It's almost like my guide. I'll continuously cherish, and get to inner space and establish myself again into yoga. Understand, even if you miss once the timing of creating the right thought against the wrong thought, you are caught. Timing is very important. I have a story for you about timing. Little dirty, it's okay. Sometime, for the sake of understanding, it can be accepted. A man was in the restaurant and he suddenly realized he needed to release. He timed his gas with a beat of music. After a couple of songs, he started to feel better and relieved. He finished his coffee and noticed that suddenly everybody is staring at him. Then suddenly he remembered and realized listening to his iPod. Time it properly with understanding. Don't time it based on your iPod. No, timing is really important. Ramana Maharshi says very beautifully, Aimbula kalvar agattinil pugumbodu agattini O Arunachala. O Lord, when my five senses entered my house to rob me and to rape me, where were you? Were you not? Immediately bring the security, the right understanding, right attitude against the negativity. Timing is very important. Timing. Immediately to your negativity. Catch the thief in right moment. Catch the negativity the moment he enters your house. Don't wait. You can talk to him in the police station. No. That won't work. It's like putting the camera everywhere. What is the use? Thief has disappeared. I tell them, put better locks than the bigger cameras. If not, better to have locks. Thief is not going to be bothered. The camera is there. He comes and robs and goes away. So understand, the moment negativity enters you, put the brake, stop it. Have the inner awakening. Immediately create the right understanding so that you can be out of that negativity. I'll expand on the sutra every day. Patience. Because this is the one sutra I practiced more number of times in my life. More. Because unclutching just in 2 times, 2 moment. But this only made my whole bio-memory pure and radiating. I bless you all to achieve Nithyananda. Thank you.
Yes, and now with that powerful right understanding of Pratipaksha Bhavana, the science that has been given to us through the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and the explanation, the beautiful understandings. Take up a few internalization exercises where we can apply what we have learned and understand this science further. So in this first exercise, you can look into yourself and see where you close that. Sometimes it could be learning a new language or learning something as fear is nothing but the projection of negativity on the future possibility, and you can pen them down. So you can take a couple of minutes for this exercise and internalize this understandings further.
Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Now, let's internalize further. Pen down the action your muscle memory took when the negativity tried to break in you. Fell, scratched an old wound, went